Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and it is Tuesday, the 26th of March. Good morning, Gianni. Good morning to everybody watching. I know Kishan and Mags are out there, and Hidden Agendas. Good morning to you all. Well, when I said yesterday that I thought we would be at $71,000 by the end of the week, depending on whether Grayscale was going to sell off, whether there was going to be a kind of removal of the sell pressure. I didn't expect it to happen within 8 hours of me streaming yesterday. Yesterday, we were at what, 66, 67,000. I said, I think we'll be at 71,000 by the end of the week. And here we are. It's only Tuesday and we're at $71,000 now. Let's go back to the bottom right-hand corner where I said 74,000 is the next target for Bitcoin. We got to 73,800. We're going to do it this week if we keep this up. Now, obviously, I've not even done the intro yet, but I just wanted to get that out there before I forget to say, I did say 71,000 by the end of the week. I didn't expect it by Tuesday. Good morning to Jesse. Welcome back to the stream, Jesse. Glad you are here. So then, now we've got that out of the way, bottom left-hand corner, we have just gone over 112,000 followers. 112,000. Every platform that we stream on combined brings us to 112,000. Incredible number, considering we were at about 200 last May. What we're going to go through today then? Well, we're going to go through the markets, some X-Files, the $71,000 Bitcoin. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart. We're going to look at ETNs being listed on the London Stock Exchange and what that means. We're going to look at the XRP case. There has been a breaking development in the last 12 hours on that. We're going to look at some trader tips. A trader has given 3 coins to pick. And to be honest, he's stating the bleeding obvious. So we're going to have a look at those 3 picks, see what we think. Meme strategy. Can you use memes to help build your blockchain? And then final thoughts, and that's it. We're going to try and do the entire thing within an hour or so. Maybe 5 minutes over today, who knows? Depends on how long it takes. And if we do go over, we will, of course, try and answer some questions. So we are a interactive stream. We are really here. So if you are watching, say hello. If you don't want to say hello or you're too polite, too shy, whatever it might be, just hit the subscribe button or the like button or the follow button or whatever you've got, and we will get on with the show. I do try and keep an eye on chat as we go through the stream, but I have 2 mobile phones, a laptop and a TV, all with the different channels on, and the more channels that we broadcast on, the harder it is to keep up, and we are going to need some kind of help at some point in the future. Good morning to TSI. I wonder if you're related to KSI. Good morning, Mel. Good afternoon. Welcome to you guys. And Bitcoin is indeed mooning. So, what are we looking at? Market cap has shot up. The market cap, the total crypto market cap, has gone up over $130 billion in a day. We're at 2.68 trillion. Now, just to put that into context, I haven't mentioned this for a few weeks. I think the market cap of crypto this bull run will go between 8 and 10 trillion. In the last bull run, we hit 6 trillion. Now, if I'm wholly wrong on this and we go to 12 or 15 trillion, I really won't care. But I think conservatively 8 to 10 trillion is where I think we're going to go. Now, that's potentially nearly a 4x from where we are now. So I'm not going to give you price predictions for specific coins. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to give you ballpark figures. And I think we could 3 to 4x from here across the board. Some coins will do a lot better than others. And we're a third of the way there. We still have another 12 to 18 months left of this bull run. 24-hour volume back over 100 billion, 116 billion. Again, in a bull run, you are going to see $100, $200 billion of daily volume. For those of you that have been with me for a long time, you will remember the days, the Monday mornings when we had volume of 26 billion and I was saying in the bull run, we're going to do 3 figures a day. And that's what we're doing pretty much consistently now. Dominance, Bitcoin is back at 52%. That's going to go up. As we get more into the bull run, Bitcoin is going to lead the way. Ethereum, 16.4%. Between them, 66% of the entire crypto market. 2/3 of crypto is held in the top two assets. Bitcoin is coming in just over 71,000. Ethereum, 3,660. And gainers and losers, I imagine there's going to be some good gainers today. Bonk is up. I wasn't expecting to see that at the top of the chart today. IOTA ICP is on a tear. I did include an article on ICP to go through today, but I remember we covered it on Friday, and I try not to do the same coins over and over again. But ICP has had an investment of about $8 million. They are starting to branch out. They're starting to get more relationships, and they're starting to move up. They're an 18 ranked coin. Maybe they'll hit the top 10. Maybe they'll go to 11 or 12. But remember, there can only be 10 top 10 coins, and they're all fighting with each other to get into that top 10. Aptos is up then. Fetch, again, had a quiet few weeks, but we're now at $2.85. Again, could I see this topping $10 billion in a bull run? Well, that would only be a 4x from here. And given that I think the total market will 3 to 4x, given that Fetch is an AI token, potentially we could be looking at a $10 coin. Dog with Hat is over $3. Unbelievable. $3.16, $3 billion market cap. Before you start YOLOing in, as we talk about when we have market dips, meme coins are the first things to go, first things to drop. When Bitcoin moves up, they are the first thing to pump. Look at the top 10 coins that have pumped in the last 24 hours. Bonk is in there. Dog with Hat is in there. Pepe is in there. All of these coins are pumping, but look at the market caps of them. 3.1, 3.5. Bonk is still 1.7. That's got a long way to go to catch them back up. So meme coins are going to pump with Bitcoin, but they're going to detrimentally drop when Bitcoin drops. If Bitcoin goes down 2%, these memes will go down 10 or 15%. We saw that last week. So be very careful. You should be buying the dips and selling. I don't want to say selling the tips. That sounds terrible. Selling the tops. Losers then. Really not a lot of losers. Again, we've had a green day, as it's called, and most of the bottom coins are stable coins. These are just, shrapnel and debris. Nothing really is down. So that's pretty much it from the markets. It's been a good day. And when it's a good day, you should thank your lucky stars that you're in crypto at this moment in time. Because like I say, in a year or two's time, people are just going to start calling you lucky. And you are far from lucky. So let's get on with some X-Files and see where we are. Vic is from Portugal. Welcome to the show, Vic. I do try and keep on top of messages. But there is a lot of them. And there's a lot of spam these days as well. We didn't have as much spam before October, before the bull run really started, or the beginnings of the bull run really started. Didn't have that much spam. Now then, this was going to be the headline. And that is, it's all over. It's all over for crypto. It's all over for Bitcoin. Jim Cramer has said, we are big fans of Bitcoin. That's it. It's game over. Sell everything now, walk away, take your profits and run. Every time Jim Cramer opens his goatee-mouthed mouth and says something, the opposite happens. He shorted Nvidia. He shorted Tesla. He said Bitcoin was going to go down when the ETFs were launched and we had the small dip. He said Bitcoin was going to go to $30,000. He said it's been manipulated. Every time he says something negative, we have a good run. Every time he says something positive, I can't believe he said it. He is the epitome of bad luck. If he got into a car with you, the wheels would fall off. If he sat down for a meal with you, the electricity would go out in the restaurant. He's just bad luck everywhere he goes. Maybe he walked under a set of ladders and stood on a black cat. I don't know. So when he says we are big fans of Bitcoin, that's the worst thing he could have said. He should have said Bitcoin is overvalued. Bitcoin is a waste of time. then we would be able to sleep well at night. Now he said this, I'm expecting to wake up to $50,000 Bitcoin in the morning, because that's just the kind of Kramer that he is. Joe, good morning, welcome to the show. Now then, I have been saying for a long time that we are not going to get the ETF, the Ethereum ETFs. We even covered it yesterday, and after the show last night, the ETF approval, we are holding the line at 25% odds. To be honest, it's very pessimistic. The lack of engagement seems to be purposeful versus procrastination. No positive signs. Intel anywhere you look. Personally, hope they do approve it, but it isn't looking good. Now, I've been saying this since the beginning. We're not going to get the ETF approval. It's not going to happen. And the question isn't, are we going to get approved? Because we will. It's just when. That's the first question. The second question is, what's going to happen to the price of Ethereum when we get the rejection in May? And that's what we covered yesterday. We're not going to go over it again today. But we're now starting to see the big boys, the real people in crypto, not just some bloke that you listen to on a morning, but the people that actually work in the industry saying that it's not going to happen. We were at 85% and 60% chance of approval when maybe even a month ago. So I'm not expecting it, and it's not going to happen in my opinion. It will happen next year, but not now. Now, again, Lark Davis, never heard of him, but he came up with this very nice tweet. The best time to buy a token is when you feel uncomfortable buying it. When it is down 10, 20, 30%. That's how you make life-changing money. He is correct. And the reason he is correct is you want to be buying projects that you believe in. This is what I talk about all the time with do your own research. Buy coins that you think have a future and you think will grow, whether they be gaming, whether they be AI, whether they be DeFi, whatever it might be, layer ones, layer twos. Buy coins that you like and you will use. That's the key. If you are buying coins, if you're buying Solana at $210, expecting it to go to $1,000 tomorrow, you're mistaken. You should be buying Solana when it was at $20 or $30 or $50 or $80, or the recent retracement that we've had when it went down to $170. You should buy on the corrections, not when it is pumping. I say the same thing about meme coins. When those meme coins were ripping up, I was saying take profits. Go back and watch the streams. When they correct, like I said last week about Book of Meme corrected 60%, I think, down from its all-time high. And I said that was a good time to buy that coin. Bonk isn't back to where it was compared to other meme coins. So are traders going to look at that and think, well, Bonk is only 50% of the market cap of Dog with Hat. So what we're going to do is take the profits out of Dog with Hat and go with Bonk. Whereas the mentality that people have is I'm going to buy Bonk because it's going up. It's now over $3. It's going to go to $10. It's going to go to $100. It's the wrong attitude to have. You need to be looking at coins which are down. That's the only real way to make money. I was telling people to buy Jupiter at 50 cents because it's a $2.50 coin. And everybody now wants to buy Jupiter when it's at $1.30. Everybody's now buying it. Everybody's now buying it and staking it because the staking rewards are going to be starting in, I think, July. So now everyone's going to buy the coin. I talk about chasing tornadoes. If you catch a tornado, you're going to get wrecked. It's a simple fact. You want to avoid the tornadoes, you want to avoid the pumps, and you want to be buying the coins that aren't in the headlines. And that's what we try and do. We try and pick out the coins which haven't had these massive rips, because it will rip today and then the coin that we're talking about will rip next week. And there's plenty of examples of those coins on this stream. Slurf is up, I don't know how much since we made the video on, I think I made the video yesterday. Slurf is already starting to pump, but that will pump and correct. So if you do go and buy these coins, take your profits, lock the profits in, wait for the next one. That's how you do make your money. Over a long period of time, you will have more success than if you just buy every coin when it's going to all-time high. You don't want to be jumping on those trains. Buy pork. I have never heard of pork. I hope it's a coin. Good morning, Hassan. Good morning, Duncan. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Right then. So that, I'm not going to read any more messages. We're going to be here all day. It'll end up being a chat show. Right, 1 second. Let me carry on. Let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin news. First of all, 11:15. I think we're on time. Do you know what? I wish every website had a dark mode because this is blinding me. Can't even see my own eyes. So, Bitcoin pumps above $70,000 as the crypto rally resumes. Analysts set $83,000 price target. Now, as I said at the start of the show, my next target is $74,000. When we hit that target, I will reevaluate where I think Bitcoin could go next. Because remember, we are at $71,000. All-time high of Bitcoin is currently 73,800. So when we do get to 74,000, we go to price discovery. So anybody that gives you a target of 83, 93, 103, $113,000 for Bitcoin is pretty much guessing, because we don't know when we go to price discovery. We might struggle, like we have done at 70,000 in the past and 60,000. We might really struggle at $79,000. Because $80,000 is a psychological mark in people's minds. And I talk about this all the time with other coins as well. $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for Ethereum, $200, $250, $150 for Solana. They are psychological barriers. People trade around them. You know, if you're going to put a sell order on Bitcoin, you're not going to sell at 70,200. You're going to sell at 69,800. Because those psychological barriers do cause resistance and support. We've seen it in the past with Bitcoin when it was at 25,000. It wouldn't go below 25,000 and it stayed. Then we had support at 30,000. So Bitcoin has its own levels of support. Now 83,000 appears to be an arbitrary number for me. And I don't know, I haven't gone any higher than 74,000. 74,000 is based on where Bitcoin was going before the minor correction that we had. Remember, we got rejected off it. We got to 73,800. We got rejected. So clearly 74,000 is a point, a line in the sand that we have to cross. Now 83,000, let's see what the person has to say about it. Bitcoin took out the $70,000 level after a 10-day cool-off. Bitcoin could reach $83,000 after breaking upwards from its consolidation. Cryptocurrency started the week. We don't need to read that. The rally extended. We don't need to read that. The sudden resurgence liquidated 195 million of shorts, I imagine. That really isn't a lot, to be honest. 129 million in shorts. The other week when we had the mass liquidations, I think that was 1.2 billion in liquidations. So it's peanuts, 129 million. What's that between friends? Bitcoin short liquidations reached 53, less than the average daily. Yes, exactly. So why are we targeting $83,000 according to this Yahoo expert? I mean, do people even use Yahoo anymore? It was all the big thing. Alta Vista and Yahoo were the big things in my day. And now they're not so much. Anyway, so there we go. So Bitcoin could target new all-time highs after breaking out to the upside from its consolidation pattern. Analytics from 10 Research said in a Monday report based on a symmetrical triangle formation. Very nice. A chart pattern in a technical analysis, the breakout could foreshadow a $15,000 to $20,000 price increase for Bitcoin's next move from the 63,000 level. The report said it would drive Bitcoin as high as 83,000. I don't know. I don't know whether we're going to get there straight away, but we'll have a look. At another critical level was 68,000. We know about that. I thought we were going to struggle. Yesterday, I thought we were going to struggle at 69.4, which was previous all-time high. I thought we'd struggle to break that, and we didn't. We absolutely smashed it. Good morning, Tata. I thought we would struggle, and we went straight through. And there's lots of scenarios that we're going to start playing out in the future. People are trying to FUD the ETFs, saying that the ETFs are going to, slow down. Breaking news that I didn't manage to get into the stream today is there is a gold miner. Now, Peter Schiff, we've mentioned him on here before. He's a gold maxi. He's all into gold. If you'd have bought $1,000 worth of his gold fund 15 years ago, you'd have $1,000 left. I mean, you might as well have stapled it to your wall in your house for the amount of money he's made you in the last 10 or 15 years. And he is saying that Bitcoin is a bubble. But there are gold miners. Gold miners mine gold. If they really believed that gold was a store of wealth, they would hold on to some gold. They are not. I believe they are going to go and buy 20 or 30,000 Bitcoin with some of their reserves. So when I said to you a few weeks ago, these ETFs haven't even started yet, because we're going to start to see reports coming in from blue chip companies, and they have to declare their investments. Now, if Apple or Google or a gold miner or BP or whoever say we've just bought 10,000 Bitcoin or 5,000 Bitcoin, it's going to trigger FOMO amongst other blue chip companies, and they're going to start adding Bitcoin to their treasury. Now, if each of them buy 10,000 Bitcoin, and there's 100 of them, work out the numbers. We've only got 1.8 million Bitcoin left in circulation on exchanges at the moment. And yes, as the price goes up, people will sell. I understand that. But the volumes from these ETFs haven't started yet. They haven't begun. Don't let anybody tell you that it's going to run out of steam. They've only been going for 2 months. Look at the gold ETFs. Look at how long it took them to reach where we are now with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most successful ETF that has ever existed. It is already outperforming every other ETF. And you're telling me that it's going to die off. If anything, it's going to get worse. And the problem with it getting worse is when you combine incredible demand with finite supply in price discovery, it's impossible for anybody to tell you where the price of Bitcoin is going to go. Admittedly, I don't think it's going to be $500,000 by the end of the year, but over a long period of time, when that demand and supply gap shortens, it shortens because the price of Bitcoin goes up, which reduces the demand on the physical number of Bitcoin. And that's where we are at this moment in time. So if anything, yes, we could go to 83,000. Yes, we could go to 93,000. We could have a God candle any day, which takes us to $93,000. If somebody comes in and buys 10,000 Bitcoin today or tomorrow, we could be at $90,000. But we don't know that. We can only hypothesize a scenario where 2 or 3 blue chip companies start to add Bitcoin to their treasury. And one of the first is more than likely going to be Tesla, because they already own Bitcoin. Elon Musk any day now is going to realize that it's now time for him to buy back into Bitcoin. So when you see these targets of 83,000, yes, 83,000, yes, 102,000, but we cannot say with any level of certainty that we know. We are only going to hypothesize, and it all depends on how much this demand is going to come in over what period of time. If it's slow and it takes a year, I've got a year, we just need to wait. Now, I'm just going to remove this. These charts that Brogan has, they're like magic. I don't understand them. I don't want to understand them. They scare me. So we're going to go back to my charts, which make far more sense to me than anything else. And my chart here. So on the daily, one thing you will notice on the daily is RSI. The RSI has turned back up. But we are far from overbought on the daily. And yes, we can go and look at the weekly. We are overbought on the weekly. 4 hourly, we're coming up. We might have a cool off period. But on the dailies, it's the nicest chart for me to look at. This downward trend that we had, that I mentioned yesterday, if you were tuning in, I said we broke it. We need to move up. Well, I think we can get rid of that line now because we've broken it. So where is the target for Bitcoin? Well, that was the target, which was 68.2. We've smashed that to pieces. So the next target for me is probably 71.5 or 71.6. And then, of course, right up here, let's put this in, which is about 73.8. About there. That's the target for Bitcoin for me. If we can get above 73.8, we'll be at all-time highs. Now, we are really not far away from that. Look at that tiny little gap there to get up to all-time highs. Now, where do we go from all-time highs? No idea. No idea. 83,000. If I put the horizontal line in there of where they have said, which is 83,000, no idea why we would have an $83,000 target. We do have, up here, we've got a fib level, 97 and $99,000. We're a long way from there. So I'm not going to give any other predictions just yet until we get back to this $74,000, which I've had there now for about 2 weeks on the screen, because that I think is the next target. We got to 73.8. 74 is the target. In the short term, we could probably bounce around. If we have a correction, we break below 71,000, we could come back to this 68 level here, 68.4, or we could come all the way back down to 62.3. But I do think if Grayscale don't sell for the rest of this week, we're going to be at 74,000. That's the only reason, because Genesis sold, I think it was $1.8 billion worth of Grayscale stock last week. It was a huge sell, and it really didn't crush us. We came down, but it didn't crush us because the new ETFs bought up all of that additional supply. If we don't get Grayscale selling, this move up is going to happen. And what's going to happen is we'll probably break this 74,000 level, and there'll be a profit take. Somewhere in this area here, there'll be a profit take. And maybe we do this, and then maybe we come back down to 74,000 to test it as support. But I do expect profit taking along the way. We're not going to go up in a straight line. When you go to the weekly, you will see just how incredible this move has actually been on the scale of things. Now, I just want to point out, the world was ending there. Everybody was worried at that point when we came all the way down here. The world was ending. The world was ending there as well. So these 2 points are the red dots, is where the world was ending according to the experts, where we could come down to 57 and 47 and $37,000. That's where everybody was predicting. These are, we talk about steps, and Bitcoin needs to go up, because every time we come down, we need to have levels of support on the way down. I say it all the time. The red wicks they deleverage the market. They reset the market, and they help us push up. Look what happens after every little red block we have. We move up. Same here. We move up. It has to happen. I think on Saturday or Sunday, somebody sent me a WhatsApp and said, have we finished going down? And I think I looked at the daily, and I think I highlighted something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, the last 4 times the RSI had got as low as it had, we pumped. I'll dig the image out. I'll put it on Telegram for everybody. But we pumped, and lo and behold, we've pumped. When the RSI comes down, it tends to go back up, and that tends to bring with it buy pressure. Only in a bull market. In a bear market, we can go down for days and weeks. But in a bear market, these corrections are more for deleveraging and people taking profits than anything else. Exactly, Yowza. Those red wicks are like spring cleaning, getting rid of the riffraff. Exactly, it's getting rid of the weak hands. I said a few days ago, whatever you do, and this isn't financial advice, whatever you do not sell your Bitcoin. Because at this moment in time, this will outperform the majority of altcoins. It's not going to outperform them all. If you'd held Solana rather than Bitcoin over the last 18 months, you would have probably 10x'd your money, whereas Bitcoin has 4x'd. So yes, holding Solana would have been a better idea. Holding ICP would have been a better idea. But on the whole, holding Bitcoin at this stage of the market is the best thing to do. Yes, you should build your portfolio, and yes, you should have Ethereum and the others. But if Ethereum went to $12,000 today, I would be taking profits. If Solana hit $250, or maybe not $250, $350 today, I'd probably take some profits. But I'm not going to take the profit out of Bitcoin because Bitcoin has a long way to go right now. And that's what I would be looking at holding on to. And maybe, as I've said before, maybe I am not going to sell Bitcoin at the end of this bull run. Maybe I don't sell. I have kind of changed my mind on it because it's such a scarce asset that I'm now thinking of not selling Bitcoin. I will sell my Ethereum, my Solana, my Cardano, my XRP. I will sell them all, but I don't think I'm going to sell my Bitcoin. Now then, I think it's the second or third biggest exchange in the world, and they're listing ETNs. So crypto ETNs are admitted to trading on the London Stock Exchange, and they're only appropriate for professionals, the exchange wrote. We don't need to worry about that because you will have access to professionals if you are in London and you want to be buying these things up. Good morning, Use. Welcome to the stream. Remember, if you are new here, smash the like button, smash the follow button, say hello in chat. I am here. I am real. I'm not an AI voice. Who would ever create an AI voice like this? So make sure to say hello. So the London Stock Exchange will list these exchange-traded notes, I believe they're called. Despite substantial investor interest, the ETNs will only be available to professional investors as per the FCA's ban on the sale of crypto derivatives and ETNs enacted in January 2021. To be approved, crypto ETNs must be physically backed, non-leveraged, have a reliable value of the underlying market price, and can only be denominated in Bitcoin or Ether. So what does this mean? They are very similar to ETFs, which are exchange-traded funds. These are notes. These notes, if I buy 10 Bitcoin worth of notes, there needs to be 10 Bitcoin behind that note, supporting it. I cannot buy a 5x note, which means I buy 10 Bitcoin with it only being backed by 2, for example. So these are, in all effect, these are ETFs. They're just done differently in the UK. Issuers can submit up to 3 different currency lines for the ETNs, given the nature of the product and the admission guidance set out in this fact sheet. Standard admission timelines do not apply. Issuers and their advisors should therefore liaise with the exchange at the earliest opportunity to discuss the proposed admission. The move follows in the footsteps of the ETFs, which we know about. Last October, the FCA implemented new rules for crypto-related marketing, promising robust action against potential breaches. And I totally agree. I totally agree. So what does this mean? Well, in America, you had the equivalent of a legal war going on against crypto by the government, by the SEC, by Gary Gensler. In the UK, somebody comes to them with a half reasonable idea. The UK go, you know what, that's a good idea, but we're only going to open it up to professionals. And that's a fine thing to do, an easy thing to do, because it does need to protect people from volatility and in some instances from themselves. So these notes will be available in the UK. I do expect them to have a large volume. I'm not expecting billions a day. I am expecting millions, if not tens of millions a day to start with. There might be an initial pump at the beginning, but I do expect them to level out. They're not going to be anywhere near the level of BlackRock in America, for example, but they should be bigger than every other ETF that is available out there. So for this is good news. Now this is May the 28th, so this is 2 months from now. It's not today or tomorrow. It's 2 months from now. And again, we want to see all of these things happen over a prolonged period of time. We need to add the fuel to the fire over a long period of time. We don't want everything happening in April, everything happening in March. We want things happening in May, in June, in October, in November. We have all of those things coming up. We've got the rate cuts. There'll be 3 rate cuts this year. Well, that's 3 bits of positive news. We have the halving in April, more good news. We've got the presidential election in November, more good news. We potentially next March, next April, we've got the Ethereum ETF, more good news. We need to keep the ball rolling. We need to keep the wind in the sails, and all of those things happening at different times in the year make it easier to keep the momentum behind Bitcoin. That's the key. We don't want everything happening in June, because what happens next March when we've run out of steam? We're just going to peter out. So more good news. Again, not today, not tomorrow, but it's penciled in. And again, we might see $200 or $300 million pounds worth of trading on the first day. Well, that could take an additional 10,000 Bitcoin off the market. And remember, there aren't enough Bitcoin to go around. I'm going to keep saying it. Between these ETFs, between these blue chip American companies, between sovereign states, between Dubai, Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, between all of these places, where does the Bitcoin come from to feed them? There isn't enough Bitcoin. And that's why you shouldn't be selling it, because this might sound crazy, but you holding 1 Bitcoin in, I don't know, 5 years' time, you holding 1 Bitcoin could be the equivalent of a small to medium-sized listed company in America having 1 Bitcoin in their treasury. You could hold the same amount as a multi-million pound company, because there isn't enough to go around. And that's going to push the price up. The price will go up, and eventually we are going to see a blow off top, and we don't know where that blow off top is going to take us. Cathie Wood is talking about $1 million. Plan B is talking about $500,000. I don't know. Now then, the SEC wants $2 billion from Ripple, says the chief legal officer. So the SEC have taken XRP to court and lost on the grounds that it isn't a security on the secondary market. Fine, case is done. This is to do with the initial public offering, and the SEC have said they want $2 billion because it was an illegal ICO offering. Now, the job and sole purpose of the SEC is to protect investors and protect the markets, none of which were damaged by XRP. If anything, the people who've held XRP for the last 3 years have been damaged by the SEC because the price has been suppressed. Oh, the sweet irony. So they want $2 billion in penalties. How do you substantiate $2 billion in penalties? As you will see when the SEC's brief is made public tomorrow, they will ask the judge for $2 billion in fines and penalties. Incredible. Let's get rid of these ridiculous adverts. Our response will be filed next month, but as we have seen time and time again, this is a regulator that trades in statements that are false, mischaracterized, and designed to mislead. They stayed true to form here. He said that the regulator trades in statements. We've said that bit. The company behind the regulator hit the fintech company with a $1.3 billion lawsuit, alleging that it sold unregistered securities in the form of XRP, now the 6th biggest asset by market cap. But last year, Ripple scored a partial win. It wasn't more of a partial win, it was a 90% win in the courts when the judge ruled that the programmable sales of XRP to retail investors did not qualify as securities. I wouldn't say it was a partial win. I would say 90% of the case was about whether XRP was a security when it's traded, and it isn't, according to the judge. Very happy with that decision, totally agree. But this is about the ICO, which started many moons ago, and now they want a $2 billion fine. So Brad Garlinghouse has called the SEC very hostile, adding that Chairman Gary Gensler was a political liability and that his way of regulating the crypto industry wasn't working. Now, again, Ripple have won time and time again in court. I think, personally, that they will have to pay a few $100 million in fines. And to close the court case and to get rid of the issue, they should pay a fine. I do not for 1 second believe that $2 billion in fines is appropriate. It's not appropriate in any way, shape, or form. But there we go. Now, what does this mean for the price of XRP? Have we got... Oh, we do indeed. Look at that. That is preparation for you. Now, let's have a look at the XRP chart. And I'll try and explain. I think I brought up the XRP chart a few days ago. I'm not going to go over it in too much depth. But XRP, for those of you that haven't watched before, has been on this lovely trend line going back here almost 2 years now. It's been going up. People don't realize it's been going up because it's been going up so slowly. One second. Perfect. So XRP has been going up. It was at 20, I don't know what it was, 28 cents, 27 cents. Now, anytime you see a coin that you like in this red zone, the kill zone, that's where you should be buying the token. Because if you believe in the project, if you think the project is going to be a success, then this is the depths of the FIB. The FIB level down here is the place to buy it. Where have we gone? This was the win against the SEC. We are still back on this trend line. Okay, now we are sitting above support. The bull market support band is here. If you see, we bounced, we broke, we came back up, we bounced. So we should start going up. In my opinion, if the case is won, or if the case is agreed, which could take another 3 or 4 months, then XRP is going to be over $1. And when that happens, if we get an XRP case closure by June or July, I think that would be a great time. We're after the halving. We see $1, we see $1.20, and then we can really start looking up towards previous all-time highs. Because, you know, if you look at this chart, it's quite a decent chart. I know people have been saying, you know, XRP doesn't do anything, but clearly it does. Clearly it's gone from 28 cents to 65 cents in this period of time. It just hasn't had the moon boy charts that you've seen on Solana and other coins like that, but it's still fairly healthy. There's plenty of levels and previous price actions along here. Once we get past 82 cents, we get up towards 97 cents. You're starting to look up towards these previous levels up here. Now, this was a while ago. This was 4 years ago. We were at $1.30. And again, I think if we do have the fine paid, maybe it's $200 or $300 million, and it's closed, it's done with, then this is the target for me for XRP at this stage of the market. That's a 2x. That would take it from 65 cents to $1.30. Easily achievable. Now, all-time high, if we put the line in there, just to give us some kind of targets for us. $2. Can we hit $2 this bull run from where we are now? Probably yes. My target for XRP, given that the cases will be closed, I've still got I think it's $3 to $5, maybe. I can't remember now. I think it's about $3 to $5 for XRP. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to go to $68 or $15 or $20 because the market cap for me doesn't justify it at this moment in time. So if I get to $5 on my XRP, I am selling my XRP. and that will be the end of my XRP journey as far as this is concerned. Now, again, if you're wondering what this is, this is the volume area on the right-hand side. This is where action is. We've come to the top of this action. If we pop up, we'd go to 73 cents, 70 cents, something like that. And I think we could do it. We're going to stay on this line for a while. I think XRP is going to break out once the court case is closed. It's still a good price to buy XRP. There's a lot of people who've come to crypto, are new to crypto, because they've seen the price action. Bitcoin's gone from 15 to 65 to $70,000. You're still early. You're still potentially going to do a 2 or 3x from here on Bitcoin. You're still potentially going to do a 5 or 6x on some of the top 5, top 6 coins. You could even do a 10x on some of them. So you're still really early. And remember, everybody gets on and off the train at different stations. Some people bought XRP at 5 and 10 cents. I was buying XRP. I don't even think I got it that cheap. I got my XRP at 35 cents. So, there are people that have held XRP since here, which is 18 cents. Now, if you've got an 18-cent XRP and it goes to $1.80, you've 10x'd. You should be taking profits at that point. It doesn't matter what the price goes to. Take some profits at that point. And XRP has got a future. There's an awful lot being built on it. Don't fade XRP. In my opinion, it's getting some really bad press. But would you release all of your good press when you've still got the SEC court case over your head? If you're still being sued by the SEC, big companies are not going to buy your token. So why release all of the articles about CBDCs, about currencies, about the DeFi platform, about staking? Why are you going to do any of that? You might as well throw your whiskey into the fire. It's not going to make any difference. Let's move on then, before we run out of time. So the best crypto to buy today, March the 25th, Arweave, ICP, and Dog with Hat. Now, Joel Frank, I have an issue with this. And my issue is very simple. Those were the top 3 traded coins and top 3 gainers yesterday. And I think it's lazy. I think it's lazy to do articles like this. Actually, you know what? Let's not go and have a look at Joel, which is what I was going to do. Let's go very quickly and show you what he's talking about. Okay, so Joel Frank, and again, I don't know Joel, I haven't got anything against him. He calls for Arweave, ICP, and Dog with Hat to be the top coins to buy. ICP, Dog with Hat, and he said Arweave. Now, yesterday on the show, Arweave was up massively, probably corrected a bit today, but Arweave was our number 1 gainer yesterday. He's telling you to buy these 2 coins, which are up 15%. Now, if Bitcoin has a correction, or these 2 coins enter profit taking, this is going to come back to $15, $16, $17. This is going to come back to $2.40. He's telling you to buy the top, the local top of these 2 coins. It's terrible advice. It's terrible advice. I wouldn't ever recommend. I wouldn't sit here. I could sit here and say, and make an article. Listen, guys, I'm going to be straight with you. You need to go buy ICP, Dog with Hat, Bonk, and IOTA, because they're the ones that are pumped in the last 24 hours. I'm not basing this on anything other than what I think, based on a chart where I've ordered it by the top performers. What you should be doing is you should be looking at the other end of the table and saying, has Toncoin started to enter profit taking? Is Helium in profit taking? What else is near the bottom that hasn't pumped? Avalanche, is that a good price to get Avalanche? That's what you should be doing. You're looking at the wrong end of the table. That is the wrong end of the table to start picking up your coins from. You should have been buying Bonk last week when Bonk was at, I can't even pronounce the numbers. Bonk is up 1/3 in the last 7 days. ICP is up 77% in the last 7 days. Why on God's green earth are you telling people to buy a coin that's up 77% in the last 7 days? There's going to be a profit take. It's at a $9 billion market cap. Dog with Hat is $3.2 billion. It's up 40% in the last 7 days. Why would I tell you to go and buy those coins? So, do I agree with any of these 3 coins he's telling you to buy? No, absolutely not. What I would say is ICP is a good project to hold in your portfolio. Possibly wait for a correction. You shouldn't be mentioning this in your article. It is down 96% from a fake pump by FTX. That's why it hit $350, because it was a fake pump. It is never, ever going to get to $350 ever again. Ever again. Dog with Hat is a meme coin that was at 40 cents about 4 weeks ago. It's over $3 today. Do you honestly think it's going to go to 12 billion or 15 billion from where it is now? So you're buying a meme coin that you think is going to 4x, rather than buying an AI token which will 4x and 10x and 12x. Dog with Hat is going to have a correction. It's gone too far, too soon, and it will correct. And that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean it's going to zero, but don't buy it at $3. It's way overpriced. Not financial advice. We are running out of time, and I don't want to talk about this too much because I'm probably going to go on a rant about Joel, and it's not fair on Joel. I'm sure Joel is a lovely bloke. If you're going to have a look at Joel, I am sure Joel is a lovely bloke. Birmingham University. Firmly believes that emerging crypto technology will transform the world. Well, he sounds like a lovely bloke, but it's easy for me to just say go and buy those coins. So I wouldn't have listened to Joel. I don't recommend you listen to Joel. And as I say, I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but it's terrible advice. Absolutely terrible advice. Now, I did pick a chart, so we can go and look at which chart I've picked. What have we got left? Got 8 minutes, memes and final thoughts. Well, we'll just say my final thoughts. Right, here we go, ICP. Glad I picked ICP. Okay, can you see, if I do this, can you see where that coin went to? All the way up there. All the way up there. Now, is it ever in a million years going to get back to that price? Never in a million years. So what I did to try and give you a better idea of the coin, it's to daily, is I have picked what I think is a fair value price for my FIB, which is $36. Not the ridiculous figures that it got to, because it was a fake pump. So $36 would be my target for, let's turn that off for now. There we go. $36 is a good price for my target. Look at what it's done. The chart is beautiful. ICP broke up through its support band. It's gone up. It's been touching these fib levels. Look how well it's touched these fibs. Beautiful. Then it did this beautiful, beautiful bounce off its fib level and rocketed up. So what's going to happen? What should happen is we retrace. We get profit taking, and we could come down to $15.60, or if we hit a really bearish period, come down to $13. So if you're going to buy XRP because you want to buy, not XRP, ICP, if you want to buy ICP, in my opinion, if we get rejected at this 1925 range, we will come down to $15.80-ish. And that would be, if you go back, that would have previous resistance here and here, so it should act as support. That is what I would be looking at. To listen to Joel, and Joel isn't Joel, I'm just using Joel as an example, I don't have anything against him, is he's telling you to buy here. I'm telling you that it looks like it's overbought. And look what happens every time the RSI goes up to these levels, and yes, I'm on the daily, the price has gone down. So what do we think is going to happen? Price is going to come down. Now, yes, Bitcoin could go to $83,000. And yes, ICP could go to $24 and rip to the moon. And that's very likely to happen. But at some point, it needs to come down. Even if it goes up here, it needs to come back down again. It needs to have a cooling off period, a retracement, whatever it might be. And if you get it at $15.80, you get it at $15.80. If this thing ends up at $40 next week, move on. Go and get a different coin, because the upside, the risk of the downside on this coin at this moment in time, the risk to the downside outweighs the benefits of the upside. And what I mean is, you've seen it go from $10 to $19 in 6 days. So it's gone up 90%, 80% in 6 days. So for me, I wouldn't be buying this coin at this price. I would be waiting for it to come back down here, and then I would buy back in, because it's likely to do this. That is a healthy move. Or even if we follow this kind of action, where it's come down here and here, maybe it comes down over this period of time, but then it will go back up. So that's my move for ICP. And that's just an example of when you see these people and the coin's done that, and they're like, buy it now, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon, it's going to be, well, that was healthy, yeah, get it at that price. At which point you've bought all of that, and he's like, well, I don't give financial advice. Hang around, wait for it to come back towards $15, and then make your move. And if it doesn't happen, and it does moon, you've missed out. So what? There are 2,500 coins in crypto. Just because you've missed a pump, it's already had its 90% pump. Don't jump on the bandwagon now. As I said before, don't start chasing tornadoes. It's the wrong time in the market. You should be sitting on your bags. And if your bags aren't packed at this point, you should be looking at coins further down. You should have your Bitcoin and Ethereum already. You should have some Solana and all those kind of things. And if you haven't got them, they should be your first port of call. Not chasing a 90% pump in not chasing a coin after it's pumped 90%. Excuse me, I have 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes to go through this. So let's get on with it. So meme coins are new go-to market strategies in crypto, says Variant Fund co-founder. Crypto projects tap meme coins and holders to jumpstart new product adoption. Crypto projects are increasingly using popular meme coins and their vibrant communities to jumpstart adoption and growth for new products and protocols, according to this article by co-founder Li Jin. While often dismissed as speculative assets, meme coins and their loyal communities are increasingly becoming part of crypto projects' go-to strategies. It's the same thing over and over again. For example, BonkBot, a Telegram trading bot hot on Solana, originated from the Bonk token, a Solana meme coin that was airdropped in 2022. An independent team launched the trading bot, which uses part of the fees to buy and burn Bonk tokens, aligned itself with token holders. The strategy also works for infrastructure project Shibarium, an ETH Layer 2 led by Shiba Inu will use transaction fees to burn SHIB tokens. By incorporating the token into the Layer 2, Shibarium can leverage SHIB's vast holder base to drive usage of the new scaling solution. Another example is Berachain. I've heard that name once or twice before. Elron Gold Big Boy Multiverse. Thank you for the comment. Greatly appreciated. Another example is that Berachain originated from Bongbears, an NFT project, and has converted that community into an engaged developer and user base for its blockchain. For crypto teams exploring this strategy, considerations include assessing meme coin distribution. Fairly nonsensical article, really. What I would say is that meme coins, I think we went through it yesterday. I don't want to talk about it too much because I've run out of time. Meme coins start as tokens with no use. That's the point. There is no utility to a meme coin. That is the definition of it. Over time, and given the influx of fees, from the trading fees, from pre-sale, from whatever they've got, those meme coins will become utility-based coins. That turns them into community tokens. Bonk has really impressed me. It's on a par, for me, with SHIB, and it's got 1/10 of the market cap. And the reason it's impressed me is it's not just got the Telegram bot, it's got staking rewards, it's got its own DEX, it's got NFTs, it's got loads of utility associated with it. And in the real world, it's starting to give bonk to people who use Revolut and complete various different quizzes. So for me, bonk is potentially going to be here in 5 years' time as a community coin, as a meme coin. Now, that doesn't mean you should go and buy bonk. I'm just saying, as an example of a meme coin, it's done very well. If you compare bonk with Dog with Hat doesn't do anything yet, But as we know, coins are not based on what they do, they are based on the buzz around them, the hype, and everything associated with that coin. So meme coins are not that. Meme coins are kind of created the same, which is that they don't have anything, but it's what the team does with the money once they've got the influx of cash from the sales. So they're created fairly equally, but they don't evolve equally. And that's why sometimes when meme coins come out, like I've had some bad... I did a review of Slurf. And Slurf, for me, you know what? It's a good project, and it probably will pump. And, you know, I didn't buy any Slurf. I don't tend to buy too many of these tokens, but Slurf, for me, could be another big coin, simply because it has a community behind it. Bohm has a community behind it. They're probably going to do very well. But it's difficult, and nearly impossible, to review a project. You know, when we say do your own research, it's very difficult to review a meme coin and say this one is going to do well or this one isn't going to do well, because there's nothing behind them. There's no roadmap, there's no team, there's no utility, there's nothing. So meme strategy with regards to projects adopting meme coins is a really good way. It's a win-win for the meme, because the meme comes along and it goes, you know what, we want to offer this trading bot, or we want to offer this metaverse. I get it. It's good for the coin, but look at the project. It spent all this time building. It's not sexy, has nothing as sexy associated with it. It's a load of nerds in a room programming 18 hours a day, and suddenly you give that to Slurf or Bonk or Pepe, and suddenly you've got 200,000 people all using your product. So it's a win-win for them as well. And all they've got to do is put a picture of a dog or a frog on the front of their product, and suddenly they've got a $300 million project. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's how it has evolved over time. And meme coins, as much as I hate saying it, crypto needs meme coins. Because without meme coins, we are stuck with the boring stuff that makes money. You know, Chainlink, Quant, projects, Graph, they're all the APIs, they're oracles, they're layer 2s, they're aggregators, whatever they are. They're not really sexy. Meme coins bring sexy to crypto. And when you're a newcomer to crypto and you've bought your Bitcoin, what do you go and buy next? Because you don't really know what you're doing. You go and buy that cute little dog that's on your exchange, or you'll go and buy the cute little cat or the frog. By the way, the When meme coin is starting to be listed on more and more exchanges. So I think When will actually go up a lot as well. So meme coins for me are needed, and I understand the strategy that companies use meme coins to get access to their markets. It makes perfect sense. And for the meme coin, if you've built a meme coin and you have 300,000 users, 100,000 users, and somebody comes to you and says, do you want this trading bot for your users? We'll take 1% of the fees, you take the rest, and you can do what you want with them. You're going to do it. You're going to snap the hands off, because you're going to build out a suite of utility for your meme coin, which will give you longevity. So everybody wins. Everybody wins. And that pretty much, I would say, is my final thought of the day. I cannot think of why I would want to drag this out any longer. I think I've done an hour and 5 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time today. So if you are watching and you are new here, we stream 6 days a week at 11 o'clock, Monday to Saturday. We do a trading show on a Monday and Wednesday night. Tonight, we are doing a coin review of a project. And tomorrow night, we have an AMA on crypto regulation. So we have a busy week this week. And if you want to stay in touch, make sure you press follow, smash the like button, hit subscribe, whatever else you can do, press those buttons. And what I will do now is I'm gonna go and probably make a video today about a project. I'm not going to say the name of it; it will be a surprise. But suffice to say, Crypto Warehouse. Search for that; you'll find us. We are omnipresent. And until tomorrow, thanks everybody for watching. See you all. Actually, no, I'll see you all tonight. We're streaming tonight, so I'll see you all tonight at about 8 o'clock. Take care. See you soon.